I am DM Tone. This is Gamer Oasis. Let's get into it. I have saved this spell for a while. It's one of my personal favorites. This version of it sets the framework, but a lot of the mechanics of what makes it awesome are not set yet. I'm talking about, of course, Mirror Image. Let's break down how this spell works while talking briefly about the possible problems you could run into with the spell as it goes. The user creates from 1 to 4 images of themselves. So a D4, no problem. We got that. That seems simple enough. Before I go into the next part though, I feel like it's important to know that these images take up visual space, not technically physical space, for what is for sure an illusion of the user. These images are indistinguishable from the user as they do exactly what the user does. So this to me sounds very exact and might be hard for someone to wrap it around their head what's being said. So let me change the wording a little bit to a 1-to-1 ratio. So if I reach my right hand out, all the images reach their right hand out. If I step to my right, all the images step to the right. That's what it's trying to say here. And I think in general this is good. However, there are some issues. So if everything is 1-to-1 and I reach my right hand out to turn a doorknob, the D4 other images also reach their hand out to a non-existent door handle because they are reaching out the same direction, the same angle, the same everything. If I then turn the doorknob, open the door, and walk through it, some of those images may not make it through the doorway because they are separate from me and the doorway may be too narrow. Some of these images might be affected by people walking down the street or may make people push away from them or may be floating in air because they are standing over the edge of a dock or something of that nature. And this kind of leads me to where I question the one-for-one behavior and the exactness of what it's trying to say here. I get the spirit of it. As I discussed before, these images take up a visual space. You don't want them walking off ledges or through walls, if that makes sense. Before I get too far into this, let me go back to the spell. Any attack upon a mirror image dispels it, but it doesn't affect any other images that might exist. And the spell lasts for 6 turns, aka 60 minutes. Okay, so the framework is set up. We now have the general rough idea of what's going on. These images take up a 1-to-1 space. This is, in my opinion, more of a generalization. This is an illusion, so therefore the illusion has the ability to be manipulative, in my opinion, and not some cold statistic. Okay, so moving on with this as an illusion, it's not going to do anything that the magic itself would break the illusion thereof. So when I reach my right hand out to turn the doorknob, this makes sense within the spell, as in all the hands reach out, a D4 hands plus mine, reaches out and turns the doorknob. Or they kind of blur the edges. You're not exactly sure where my hand ends and where their hand begins, and it kind of looks like it should work, and then it separates and moves like a school of fish. They don't move in a normal pattern, but they all seem to go in the same direction, if that makes sense. This is something that you and the referee should come to some sort of agreement on. My perspective is 1-to-1 movement is a generalization, it's not a strict rule. This is an illusion, therefore it's not going to do anything that would cause the spell itself to be broke because the spell is interacting with static terrain. I don't think that these images have intelligence. I just think the magic works it out. But I think now the real question is, what happens when the thief runs up with a handful of caltrops and he throws them at the user in all D4 images? Is that one attack or is that a handful of attacks? And do all these images have a chance to go away? Or do they roll separate attack rolls? Or do we just count it as one attack roll and they're all gone? I think that's a fine line, and I think that that is the rock, paper, scissors of the game. In my world, yes. But you decide. Let me know in the comments. Did I get this one right? Did I get this one wrong? Let me know what you think. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day, and keep rolling those dice. Bye.